guys, and welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I want to build a custom stand for all of my shower gels, bath salts, all of my spa things. I need something more substantial than just this small area here, which is what I had. And so I'm gonna try to use materials that I have to come up with a stand that can house all of the items that I'm trying to stockpile for my little spa area in here. I want to keep this in it, and what I have is this board. This used to be in the laundry room. Of course it was much longer, but this is what's left of it from, like I said, the laundry room. And then I went to Lowe's yesterday and I bought I think this is a 12 by 10 wood, and I cut it down into 3 pieces. And so I'm gonna try to use these to make a stand. I know for a fact that this is gonna look like nothing else out there, because I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but I'm gonna attempt to make, like I said, my little spa stand today. So stay tuned. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. Before we jump into building the stand, I want to go over my grocery haul for this week. I decided to change the budget just a tad bit. The goal was to spend $200 this week and $400 next week. I decided to spend $300 this week, and then I'll spend another $300 next week. Of my $300 grocery budget, I spent $260.13. Walmart didn't have oranges, and in order for us to make it through the week, Jeremiah needs a large bag or 2 bags of oranges in addition to the other fruits. So I will use the remaining $39 to pick up oranges, and also we need condiments. So I want to get like extra ranch and Polynesian sauce to just stock in the cabinet. I went into Walmart with the list and I highlight everything that I got, and as you can see at the bottom of my list, orange, ranch, Polynesian, and teriyaki sauce are the things that I did not pick up. I do not go in the store on the weekend, so I will pick those things up Monday morning for us. But I am proud to say that I am on budget. I went in with my list. I did not have my calculator today, which is something I don't want to go in the store without. But I did take cash and I am on budget. So grocery prices are a little higher right now, but like I told you guys, we're creating a plan, and I have created our plan, and I'm simply working the plan. God has provided. We have eaten every single night, and we are comfortable, even though I am spending a little more than I want to, and so I'm going to focus on the positive. I grocery shop first thing in the morning, so I am putting the groceries away before I go to work. After work, I will cut down the meat. I bought 1 pack of chicken wings, and I'm cutting those into drumsticks or drumettes, and that'll give us 2 meals in which we can have chicken wings. And then I got 2 packs of the drumsticks, and that gave us 5 different meal options. I will divide them into Ziploc freezer safe bags and put them in the meat freezer located in Jordan's room. But I really am pleased with the amount of meat I was able to get this time to make progress in the meat freezer. Slowly but surely, it's all coming together. Like I said, the key is just working the plan. If you are looking for a cheaper meat option, drumsticks are the way to go right now. When I was in Walmart, I noticed that the highest or most expensive cut was around $7, and they range between, like I said, $5 to $7 for the family pack. And drumsticks are very versatile. Like for us, barbecue, we can barbecue it, stew. I can take it off the bone and even shred it down if I wanted to do like pull barbecue chicken sandwiches. It's a very versatile meat, and right now it's really inexpensive. So just letting you know, let's look at the positives, and that's one positive aspect that we can look at, that there are some cheaper cuts of meat. Jeremiah is really on this steak kick, but I'm doing the eye of round steak because I can get them for between $8 to $9 for like the 3 small cuts, but it still gives him the steak option. And he's been cooking that at least once a week, doing the steak and potatoes, and we're absolutely loving it. So you are still able to have the things that you enjoy, just a different cut. And it's all about seasoning and flavoring. And I can really say my Jeremiah is becoming a much better cook than me. He has the whole seasoning aspect of it down. And I like my steak well done, and I've been eating medium well steak for the past 3 weeks, and I've been enjoying it. So we're gonna make it through this, guys. Let's just share with each other the positive things that we're finding in the grocery store. And like I said, drumsticks are really nice. The prices on them are really nice right now. And also, if you like steak, the eye of round cut, they're smaller, but he's been cutting them down into strips, and we've still been able to enjoy steak. For this bill, the only thing that I bought was this board. I got it from Lowe's. I spent $18.72, I believe, on it. I used my personal spending money. I gave myself $80 of personal spending this week. As you guys know, I give myself between $60 to $80 each week. And I gave myself 80, and I used $18.72 for this board, and that is all of the money that I spent to create this spa display. Being fully transparent, I struggled at the beginning. I started off not truly knowing what I wanted the design to look like. All I know is that I wanted to have white mixed in with some natural wood finishing. So I know I wanted to stain the board that I bought from Lowe's, and I cut into those 3 pieces. But the overall look of it, I didn't know. I know at the bottom I want to add baskets to kind of tie the white components in with the wood stained finish. But I struggled. I tried to use the deck screws from the patio deck to start, and they were too short. From there, I found some screws that were in my toolbox, and they didn't work either. I ended up having to go to Lowe's and buy screws. The one thing I do know that helps me is I know how to construct something and make sure that it's sturdy. I don't want to build something that is going to fall apart the minute I move it, or fall apart in a year or two. So I know how to construct something that is going to be stable and is well put together. It's just the implement implementation sometimes of how I'm going to put it together is a bit of a struggle for me. But when it comes to like making sure that I have the proper screws, they're the proper length, I don't cut corners there at all. I'm not gonna cut corners with that. But I started off telling you guys I spent $18.72 for the board. But as we talk, I did go back to Lowe's and I believe the screws were $6.97. So I spent an additional $7 and some change with tax, because I did go back to get screws. I'll start off by giving you the dimensions. I knew I wanted this shelf to be at least 3 feet tall because that would fall underneath the letters of my last name and it would stand tall enough to where when I'm putting things on the top of the shelf, I can still see my last name. And I wanted something wide enough to cover the vast majority of that space width-wise. So it's a little under 3 feet that way, like 2 3/4. And that's because I also need to be able to move it when I have to replace parts to my tub, because my tub opens for the faucet area in that corner. But I wanted something tall enough, like I said, to where when I put things on top of the shelf, I can still see my last name, and wide enough to take up the vast majority of the space width-wise. It would allow me to store all of the things that I ultimately want to store to create the spa feel for me. Extra bath salts. I've been collecting the Kyra bath bundles. It's the shower gel, the body scrub, and the body butter. I found the website, but they do not ship to the United States. It's an Australian company that doesn't ship here. And so the only place that I'm able to find the product is at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I am in love with how it feels on my skin. I'll wash with just my regular antibacterial soap, and then I'll do the body scrub, and then with the body scrub still on me, I'll wash again using the gel, the shower gel, and then rinse it all off, get out, and apply the body butter. The way it makes my skin feel is amazing, but it also, the scents, all of their scents smell amazing, and it's been my nighttime routine. Like, I'm in love with it. So every time I go into TJ Maxx using my personal spending money, I've been picking up pieces. The downfall of having to pick it up from TJ Maxx and Marshalls is that you don't get all of the pieces. They come in randomly off of the trucks. So you might get the shower gel this time and it might take several trips or several different weeks, because I only go in the store once a week, but several different trips to TJ Maxx over several weeks, even months, to get the other parts to the bundle. But I'm loving that product, and I've been collecting. I'm trying to get all of them, but I've been collecting them just using my personal money. And because I've had that small shelf in the corner, most of that stuff has just been tucked in my walk-in closet. And my walk-in closet isn't big, and I also use it as my office. So I need that space to not be cluttered. So it was just time to build this shelf. I tried at first looking online to see if I could find something, and I couldn't find anything the size and measurements that would fit this space perfectly for under $100. And so I just decided that I would build it, which honestly is the best solution. I just never built a shelf before, and I was a little nervous and apprehensive, but decided that I know how to put something together that will last. So I just have to take my time. If I get it wrong, take it apart and try again until I get it right. But I knew that I could do it for a lot less than $100. And this all came together for under $30. So it was well worth it. I wanted to incorporate the shelf or the stand that I already had there into the design, because the width of or the opening on that shelf is perfect for baskets. I knew I wanted to add baskets. I'm trying to tie the natural wood element in, and I'd already laid that down the night before, which is how I knew what size I needed to cut that middle board. I just cut it the same size as that stand, turned the way it is now. And I took the baskets that are on my coffee bar. I took those baskets and put them in there just to see how it would look. So I knew how the bottom part would look. I just didn't know how the rest was going to work out. But in the end, I love how it all turned out. I will have to go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods and try to find the baskets that I have on my coffee bar, because you'll see that I'm going to put those baskets down there now. It's just so that we can all, you and I, can see the finished product and how I want it to look in the end. But those baskets actually go to my coffee bar and I need them there. So I'm going to just have to try to find the same baskets, like I said. I spent around $25 of my $80 budget of personal money. So I still have money to spend, and I will on Monday. I'll try to see if I can find the baskets and then some bath salts and other items. So this is just the beginning. I have the stand and I can build from there. I redid my laundry area at the beginning, at the top of the year. So around, or was that last year? It had to be last year. I think I redid my laundry area. I believe it was the end of last year. But before the current design of my laundry room, I had this, the whiteboard that I'm putting on the top. That was the shelf in my laundry room, supported by L brackets. I didn't like it, so of course I took it out and I made a custom shelf just using a piece of board I bought from Lowe's again. But I was nervous about putting this board here. It's thinner than all of the other materials, and I wondered if it would fall apart once I started putting the screws in. I didn't want it to crack. So it took me a moment to start screwing, as you guys saw, just because I was nervous. I really took my time and went slow into the board, because it's like particle board, and went slowly into the board, but it didn't break or buckle. It's a pretty sturdy product, but the rest of the wood is natural wood, and that's particle board. So, it's different. But everything worked out. I love how it looked in the end. The white board on the top allowed me to tie in that shelf at the bottom. And so it's all coming together. I didn't know how it would look, but this is the overall design I had in mind, where I'm mixing the painted parts with the natural wood that I will stain. And I didn't buy stain. I'm using the same stain that I used to put the border on in my living room. So this the wood that I stained when I was creating the border in my living room is the same stain that I just pulled out of my toolbox to work with. And there are a couple of dark spots on the wood where it rubbed against something. I tried to wipe it off before I cut the wood and I couldn't. So I'm using a sander to sand the wood down. Please use a mask. I was thinking I don't sand that often, so it'll be safe, but my sinuses were bothering me for quite some time after I finished this project because I did not use a mask. Even if you don't sand often, it's important that you use a mask. I do have the fan on in the bathroom, but that wasn't really helping at all. But trial and error, I will not do that again. I wanted to share something with you guys that I learned about myself today. There was a time in life where I really thought like I would be happy if I had more money. Like if I had more money, I could do the things I want. I could move more freely and life would be great. But I'm learning that even on a budget, even when I have to really be detailed about how I spend my money, that I can still be happy and have a great life. That it just takes a little bit of time. I really am so happy that I'm building this shelf, or that I took the time to build this shelf. I can store all of the things that I want for my spa area, but I'm doing it on a budget. It doesn't matter that I didn't have hundreds of dollars to spend on the stand that would fit this space perfectly and allow me to have all the features that I have in this stand. I just spent time and created it for myself for under $30. So I can have happiness on any level that I want to if I just devote a little bit of time to it. This year, I've been taking care of myself, still within my budget, just using the personal money. First of all, making sure that I give myself personal money each week between the $60 to $80 range that I've been sticking with for over a year or all this year. I can buy the things that I want to create my spa area, buy the material, and just devote my time to putting it together and painting it and staining it. But I'm able to have the life that I ultimately want. I really want to feel like I'm living a life of leisure, even though I have to put the work in. But this is just one day worth of work. Working on this stand today, and the rest is just going to be cosmetics, adding baskets, adding the different products that I want to have. The fun part, the shopping part. But all it took is one evening after work or one afternoon after work devoted to creating this space for myself. So just a little bit of time pays off long term. I did a great job on this stand, and it's going to be here for quite some time. This is all new to me, this taking care of myself, but I'm never going back. And all of the things that I'm doing to make my eyes light up when I walk into the room, I'm so worth it to me. But it doesn't take a lot of money to be happy. It just takes a little bit of time. I've been collecting those Cairo bath bundles for months, since the summer. But they're literally between $7.99 to $5.99 at TJ Maxx, and I'm getting one or two each time. But the way it feels on my skin, the way it makes me feel at night to create a bath routine to take care of myself is I'm worth all of that. But I don't need a lot of money is what I've learned in this whole experiment over the past year. I don't need a lot of money to be happy. That I can just devote a day to building something or save to buy something like my birthday gift last year, and it brings me happiness. I'm not a traveler and I don't like to leave my home. So being able to bring all the things that I love to my home is everything to me. And if a girl's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna be a spa. And I can create that spa feeling for me within my home. And this is just the beginning. The cosmetic stuff, I believe I have out the way, but all of the products are still to come, like face mask and uh, getting some gel nail polishes and what is it, ultraviolet light, and being able to do my own toes. It's all in the making, but everything has to happen on a budget. I'm the only one bringing in money, and the money that I'm bringing in has to move us forward. But little by little, I can remember where this all started at the top of this year and how much I've progressed. Little commitments I've made to myself, like I'm going to always keep my hair done. I do my hair. I haven't been to a salon in years. And if we're going to say like a real salon, it's been almost a decade. If I'm wearing a lace front, I put it on. If I'm wearing braids, I put the braids in. If I'm wearing a crochet, I did it. So it's just having the things that I need to keep my promise to myself. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to love on myself. I'm going to give me the spa treatment because I deserve to be pampered every day. And so just a little bit of time allows me to have everything that radiates within me a sense of happiness. Once I got done painting and staining the stand Jeremiah called, He needed me to pick him up from practice, and I completely forgot I had on all his clothes. So it's funny because I've decided when I'm working on a project, especially when I'm doing a lot of bending and stretching, it's just more comfortable to have on my boys' clothes because they're bigger on me and I don't have to worry about pulling things down. Um, Respecting myself and respecting my kids are very important to me, and sometimes just in clothes that fit. Um, as a woman, when you move, more of you shows than you want. So I decided that I'm going to wear their clothes. I do want to wear my paint pants every time I paint because I tend to get paint on me. But I'm happy to say I did not get paint on Jeremiah's clothes. But I picked him up from practice and he was looking like, where you been at? And I was like, I was building a stand and I showed him and I just told him how his clothes is baggier on me. And so it feels comfortable when I'm working. I don't have to worry about my body while I'm working. I can actually focus on the project. But I thought that was funny. I was supposed to take it off before I picked him up and I forgot. Even though the stand isn't dry, I'm gonna try to clean up the area a little bit. Wipe everything down because I was sanding and there is a little bit of dust. And move the stand back into place just to get a idea of what it's gonna look like. I will have to wait a little while for it to dry. So even though in this video you may not see, I did wait before adding anything to the stand to give it some time to dry. And I know typically when you're working with wood, you want to sand it completely, and I just did a spot sand. Also, when you're staining it, you want to stain it and then you want to sand it again, and you want to add a top coat to it. But I didn't feel like all of that was really necessary for what I'm trying to do with this stand. The main component of it is this white shelf or white piece I already had. That is where most of the products is going to be housed. So I didn't feel a need for all of the sanding and staining and top coats on it. So I didn't do all that. I probably will put a top coat on the white part later. I don't know why I didn't do that now because I do have the top coat polyurethane. But anyway, for today, this is what I did, and I'm happy with how it all came out. This is all of those shower gels that I've had tucked in my closet that I've been waiting to display. Some of them I have the full set of it, and then others I don't. This is all back stock. The shower gel, scrub, and body butter combination that I'm using. One's on the tub. On the tub, I have the pink rose and oat milk. And then in my shower area, I have the goat milk and collagen combination. So the two that I'm using currently, like I said, they're on my bathtub and in the shower, and all of this that I'm putting out here is just back stock for future use. I tell you guys, even in the things that help make your life feel luxurious, when money is coming in, you want to work within a budget to propel your family forward, but you want to stock up on those items that bring comfort to you. Because when money is tight, the first thing that I'm going to cut is anything spa related. So getting shower gels, body scrubs, body butter, worrying about shower steamers and bath salts, all those things go out the window. I'm going to make sure that I'm securing the four walls. So that I can feel some sense of comfort, even in the midst of a financial downturn of some sort, because money will always ebb and flow. There are always going to be good season and seasons where things are tight. When things are going well, you make a provisions, or I'm making a provision to still have the things that bring comfort to me when I have to cut back. If I can't buy shower gel, body scrubs, body butters, all the little luxurious spa things in a season, it's going to be fine because I have it all stocked here, so I can still enjoy those things. Always make moves to make life easy for you, but understanding that it's going to ebb and it's going to flow, and making sure that even when you have to cut costs, you still have the little things that bring comfort and joy to you is important. And this is just one way that I'm doing it for myself. While there's extra money, building my stand and setting myself up to have a place to actually store all of the things that I'm getting. And keep in mind, I'm not breaking the budget because all of this is facilitated through my personal spending money, which is already allotted in the budget. And what I do with it is really up to me. So we're going to make it through this and every other thing that happens in life. Just make a plan and work the plan. That's the moral of the day. Making a plan and working the plan. And right now, I'm just making sure that while I have extra money, I am stocking up on the things that bring small joys to me, because these are the things that, if money is tight, are the first things to go. Now that the top of the shelf is dry, I want to style it. I want to keep the lantern, definitely my snake plant, and I want to keep the box, the smaller box up top. I want to be able to still see my last name, so I'm not gonna stack the boxes for that reason. And right now I'm just trying to figure out what design I want to go with. I'm not really sure. I just know that those are the three things that I want in that area. Right now, in the little, I think it's like a lantern, I have pumpkins, but I want to get a battery powered light to go in there so I can turn the lights off and just put the lamp on and sit in the shower. I mean, sit in the tub and soak. I think that would be really nice. Also, I want to get a glass container to put my bath salts in instead of the container that I have it in. The container that I have the bath salt in now used to be the container that I kept the shower steamers in, and I want to go back to using it for that. But all of those things will happen in time, and I'm just playing around with the style. That's why I keep stepping back to just take a look at how it looked, because I'm not sure of how I want it all to come together. But in the end, I like all of the choices that I made. I'm going to take a moment to brag on us as women. I built a stand, picked my son up from practice. I cooked dinner. Tonight I did red rice and baked chicken. Now I've taken my bath and I've decided to make a couple additional changes to the rack, but it's amazing how much we accomplish in a day as women. Woke up this morning, I grocery shopped, came home, put the groceries away, went to work, came home, built a stand, picked my baby up from school, cooked. Um, we are the most amazing species ever known to man, and we should really give ourselves more credit. We It's amazing how much we do in a day, and oftentimes we just say like we're being a mom, and we never really take stock of how freaking amazing it all is. I'm just impressed, not with just myself, but with us as a whole, as women, how we hold it all together. I can't believe I lived in this body for 43 years, and I'm just beginning to see myself. For the first time in my life, I'm carving out a life that is tailor made for me. I'm finding all the things that speak to my heart and bring joy to me, and finding out that I don't need much. It doesn't really take much. Just spending today creating this stand, working on it. I still don't know exactly how it's all gonna look in the end. I just know like what I have in mind. I'm putting out some perfume right now, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put the nail polishes on the both sides of where the perfume is. I know in the baskets at the bottom, I'm gonna put my shower, not shower. I'm gonna put my bath salts and bath beads. But I thank God for growth and really, really loving me and seeing me. This year for me has been one of the greatest years of my life. I'm so in love with the life that I'm living. Things still arise, money still ebbs and flow, but the skin that I'm in, I love being Elizabeth. I don't want to be anyone else. I don't want any other life. I know God got me. I know that if He sat across from me, He would be happy with the woman that I'm growing and becoming. I'm not perfect. There's a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm so worth it. In the making of the woman that God designed me to be, I'm worth everything that I'm giving myself. And I want you to keep in mind that I'm doing it on a budget. I'm doing it while still building infrastructure to preserve and protect what me and my family have. And I want you to do the same.